Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Shri Nityananda Mahajan Ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Gauranga, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Hare Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Glory Sai. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Charitai. Oh, Nita Gauranga. Nita Gauranga. Oh, Nita Gauranga. Nita Gauranga. Nita Gauranga. Nita Gauranga. Nita Gauranga. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Gauranga, Gauranga, Jaya Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga. Oh, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga. Nityananda Gauranga, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Oh, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Ekachakradam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govardhana, Radha Govardhana, Radha Govardhana, Shri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Nityananda Ram ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Dearest devotees and friends, thank you for joining us in celebrating our beloved Lord Nityananda. Thank you to the Kirtan crew, to the dancers. I don't think I've seen dancing during Abhishek, but it was a bit contagious like that. Next on the program, we have some beautiful activities for the youth. Just behind this wall, we've got the Gurukul, the students from the Gurukul are there, and any other children that would like to join them. There's 4 tents, which they'll be rotating around. And we would like to say a big thank you to the grade K1 and 2 who made our beautiful mango garland decorations for the temple. They got a bit competitive about it, but they were enthusiastic and we're grateful. We would also like to say a big thank you to the team in the kitchen who's been cooking it up all morning for the pleasure of their lordship. So a big haribol for them. Next, we are so fortunate to have dear Rambaru Devidasi sharing her knowledge and realizations and some pastimes on Lord Nityananda. This morning, Mukunda Goswami was sharing how Nitai really appeared to teach us kindness, compassion, and her main project at the moment, as far as I understand, is the Karuna Care, which is about supporting devotees and showing a lot of compassion. So we thank her for that service. First, Ambika Devidasi is going to lead us in Borosuker Kaborgai. Today, the theme of the festival is the marketplace of the holy name. And this bhajan really shares what the meaning of that is. So we'll let her lead, and then we'll read the translation, and then Rambaru Devidasi will give us a beautiful class. Please be attentive, stay. And if we, while the bhajan's going on, if we can shuffle a little bit to this side of the temple room, and that way when Rambaru Devidasi is giving her presentation, we can actually see her. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Borosuker Kaborgai, Borosuker Kaborgai. Suram kunjete ham ugleche. I can't actually see it. I need it to be on the other side. Goranitai, Goranitai. Baramaja katatai, Baramaja katatai. Radhamale Sundhanam Sehatete Birkai. Goranitai, Goranitai. Datta Bhakta Vrindavasi, Datta Bhakta Vrindavasi. Adhikari deke nam beche darokasi. Goranitai, Goranitai. Dare namakin me bai, Dare namakin me bai. Ama sange matra loye denro. Tumi kinbe Krishna nam, tumi kinbe Krishna nam. Dashtuli Balami Purna Habe Kama. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Varadaya Nityananda, Varadaya Nityananda. Shraddha Matra Loyeden Paramananda. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Ek ba dekle chakshe jal, ek ba dekle chakshe jal. Gora boli nittai den sakala samba. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Then Shuddha Krishna Sikha, then Shuddha Krishna Sikha. Jati dhana vidya bala na kore apeksha. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Amnichare Maya Jal, Amnichare Maya Jal. Grihe Banutapana Thako Natake Janjal. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Arnaiko Kalir Bhai, Arnaiko Kalir Bhai. Ya Chandali Den Namanitai Doyamoy. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Bhakti Vinodaki Kai, Bhakti Vinodaki Kai. Nitya Jarana Binara Nahiya Shrai. Nitya Jarana Binara Nahiya Shrai. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Kodanitai, Kodanitai. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram ki jai.
Translation. I'm singing news of great happy tidings. Lord Nityananda himself has opened a marketplace of the holy name in Surabi Kunj. The news of its great results is that he is selling the pure holy name in that marketplace for the price of only one's faith. Lord Nityananda, the proprietor of the market, seeing all the devotees become attracted, is selling them the holy name after bargaining with them. Oh brother, if you want to buy the holy name, then go with me. We must go to the presence of that great soul, Nityananda. You will buy the name of Krishna. I will take my commission, and all of our desires will be fulfilled. Lord Nityananda is greatly merciful. Taking only one's faith, he gives the highest ecstasy. If Nitai sees only once tears in the eyes while chanting the name Gaura, then he gives all resources to that person. He gives the pure teachings of Krishna to everyone and does not care for one's birth, wealth, knowledge, and strength. Now, giving up the illusory snare of Maya, either remain in household life or in the forest as a sannyasi, for no more troubles remain. There is no more fear of the age of Kali. The merciful Nityananda gives the holy name even to the Chandalas. Bhaktivinoda calls out, except for the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there is no other shelter. Lord Nityananda ki.
Okay, thank you so much. So that was this song and this purport are the invocation. So I will not do, no, this is fine. I will not do another invocation. We've been singing all morning and this is just enough. So and I can't remember her name who was introducing all the programs and was talking, Madhurangi. It was interesting that she mentioned Karuna Care, which is a project that I've been working on for almost 5 years. And Karuna, as you know, means compassion. And it was born out of this insight or this mission and mood of Lord Nityananda. I was living in Vrindavan in the 90s and in a place called Prabhupadvani Ashram. My husband and I had established this ashram that is now a brahmachari ashram in Vrindavan. And we had built these 2 underground rooms because it gets really hot, kind of like here. And so we built 2 underground apartments where you could be really cool in the very hot. And so one night I had this dream. And in the dream, Srila Prabhupada was staying in one of those rooms, underground rooms. And I was bringing his prasadam to him, and I offered my obeisances. And as I was getting ready to stand up, he says to me, first he says, can you ask your husband if you can serve my personal body? And then he stretches out his hand and he waves to these deities of Gaur-Nitai. And he says, without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, one does not get the mercy of Chaitanya. And so I had to do an investigation. I had to go through our books and really try to understand, who is this Nitai? So today it gives me a great pleasure and an honor to think about and to explore with you who this personality is. So in this age of Kali, which is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Lord Krishna, he advanced in the material world as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm speaking for people who've never been here before, maybe haven't heard this. I know many of you know all these stories. Always good to hear them again. And he appears along with Balaram, who's appearing with as Nityananda. So most of us know who these personalities are on the altar, but for those who don't, on the left side, we are offering veneration and worship to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, and on the right side of Radha Govardhana, I'm new here, so it takes me a while, and Krishna Balaram, they are the same, one and the same, but different personalities who we're going to be talking about today. So according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya was born in Navadvip, in the present-day West Bengal, And he was born on the full moon night of February 18th, 1486, at the time of the lunar eclipse. And Nityananda Prabhu, who we're celebrating today, he was born in a little town called Ekachakra, which is also in present-day West Bengal, around 1474. So that puts him at older. He was older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1506 at the age of 32 years, when Lord Chaitanya was 20. So he was 12 years older than Lord Chaitanya. And in his role as the original spiritual master, Lord Nityananda, he played a really major part in the spreading of the chanting of the holy name, starting in Bengal. And of course, now it's all over the world. We have temples and homes where people are chanting in places we don't even know, that don't have addresses. That people all over the world are chanting. And that all started here in West Bengal. So Lord Nityananda, he was Lord Chaitanya's main associate and assistant and collaborator and friend and brother, transcendental brother we call him, spreading the holy names of Krishna in the form of congregational chanting, or the performance of what we call Sankirtan. So it's understood from the teachings of all the great teachers in our Vaishnava lineage that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot be approached or even understood without taking shelter of this Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is the original guru of all the universes, and that he serves as the intermediary between Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. So we can't really go directly. We need to have a transcendental via medium to be able to approach Krishna. So Krishna is most pleased when we approach his pure devotee rather than directly himself. So Lord Nityananda, he's also considered to be the second body of the Lord, manifesting as Balaram to Krishna, and Lakshman, which we don't have a Ram Lakshman altar here. Ram, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman. Some temples have that. And Nityananda to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this song that we just sang a few moments ago, this Lord Nityananda, he opened something known as the marketplace of the holy name. And then he made it available to the Lord's devotees. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who's really a prominent Vaishnava teacher in our lineage, he describes that the market of the holy name, there are different types of outlets, and that one has to actually create establishments where the holy name is being sold. He's using this language perhaps to appeal to business-minded people who may not understand it otherwise. My father, when he met Srila Prabhupada in Washington, D.C., Potomac Temple, that was one thing Srila Prabhupada asked him, what do you do for work? And he said, I'm a small business owner. And then Srila Prabhupada, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, explained to him that the Hare Krishna movement is kind of like a business. You know, it's a place where people come, they learn, and I'm sure he was thinking of this marketplace of the holy name. And my father really related to that because he spoke his language. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he compared brick and mortar Krishna temples that we're sitting in right now to be establishments where the holy name was being sold, comparing the temple to be like Krishna's storefront or a shop. Jai Shri Radha Govardhana ki Jai Shri Krishna Bharan ki Jai. So he's comparing the temple to be like Krishna's storefront or shop where people could come and look over the merchandise of the holy name that's being sold or given freely there. And just like in any business enterprise, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he described that in the marketplace of the holy name there were traveling salesmen who go around offering the holy name to people. And just like businessmen, these salesmen, they had agents and brokers who brought people to the marketplace of the holy name to examine the merchandise and to buy what they could afford. So a broker, for those of you who are not business people, I had to look it up because I don't do business. A broker, what's a broker anyway, is a person who facilitates transactions between traders, sellers, or buyers, and they are the middlemen who ensure the business transactions they run smoothly and that each party has the necessary information about the products. And such brokers are there in many businesses like life insurance businesses and real estate and all kinds of other trading companies. So this was the model that Bhaktivinoda Thakur had for how best we could spread the holy name of the Lord in every town and village, just like it's a franchise. This kind of a franchise, you know, it's a brand. We're a nonprofit, but I mean, that name ISKCON is the same. If you go to every ISKCON temple, you're going to have the same values. You're going to have the same morning program. We get up at the same time. We sing the same songs. We read the same books. And I myself have never been to Australia at this length. I feel quite at home here because I'm swimming in the same mood and environment I was in Washington and in Los Angeles and in India, in Mayapur. So it's a very good model when you think of it, to try to enter and to have things to be predictable and the same. We all kind of it's like being in a family or a business. You're going to McDonald's. You go to McDonald's in Russia or India, it's going to be the same, except for in India they have veggie burgers. I mean, in Russia they don't. So this was the model, how we should spread the holy name, to make every home a temple, and to use every opportunity to sell or give people access to the holy name of the Lord. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that in this way there are all kinds of personalities involved in the marketplace of the holy name, and that there was to be a person who keeps the marketplace clean, just like we all the time have to keep cleaning our temple. We sweep, we wash pots, we wash dishes, and the grounds have to be kept. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he appointed himself as the sweeper of the marketplace. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a prolific writer, and he appointed himself to be the sweeper of the market because he was always cleaning up the false interpretations of the mission and message of Lord Chaitanya that kept creeping in to the mission and the message of Lord Chaitanya. So he was always looking at different literatures that were coming in, that people were writing who were perhaps claiming to be a spokesperson for Lord Chaitanya's message, but when you read the message, you start to see, doesn't sound quite like the pure message of Lord Chaitanya. So he would examine closely and remove all the impurities, or what he would call the dirt that had been collected in the marketplace after so many visitors had come. So I thought that was an interesting image that he had in terms of an editor, you know, cleaning things up. And sometimes we find also some visitors to the marketplace of the holy name who have their own spin on the mission and message of Lord Chaitanya that's not really aligned with the pure mission and message of Krishna. So it's the duty of every generation of Lord Chaitanya to carefully preserve the teachings of the Lord as they were handed down to us from the previous acharyas and Bodhifide teachers. So although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the same Lord Krishna who appeared in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, he took on this mood of Radharani, Krishna's eternal consort. And so Lord Chaitanya is considered to be more merciful than Krishna and Radharani because during Krishna's advent, he was busy killing a whole bunch of demons. You know, somebody didn't surrender, they opposed him as a supreme being, he would just kill them in so many ways. And so in this way, the demons were never able to really realize the Lord's mercy during their lifetime. They actually had to be killed by Krishna in order to realize themselves as liberated beings. And so Nityananda is also the same personality as Balaram, who was on the right altar there. And he appeared also at the time of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. This word Bala, in terms of Balaram, it means the spiritual energy of the Lord. It's another name for Balaram is Baladeva, which refers to spiritual strengths. So Baladeva is the spiritual power that animates all living beings in the creation. And so Balaram is the source of all life and consciousness, and therefore our entire existence is dependent on Bala, or the divine spiritual energy of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada often, he will translate the word living force as Chaitanya. That's also energy, the idea that the supreme being is Chaitanya, living energy or living force, dynamic force, has personality on top. So therefore Nityananda Balaram, he's considered to be the original spiritual master, because in order to raise our spiritual consciousness, our spiritual life, in order to be awakened or awakening our unconditional love for Krishna, we need to be fully dependent on the shelter of Guru and Baladev. So the original Guru, because he's the expansion of the Lord who emulates or represents or is the vehicle or transparent via media of the divine spiritual potency or spiritual strength. So this very same Baladev appeared as Lord Nityananda, as I said, in a little village called Ekachakra. He was the son of Hade Pandit and Mother Padmavati, and he appeared in order to embody the most merciful the most merciful incarnation that has ever incarnated. So when Krishna was on the planet 5,000 years ago, he gave people a requirement to awaken love for him. You know, they first had to give up everything and surrender to him. That was a requirement. And then he would deliver them from all their sinful reactions. It's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharma Prajaja Mamikam Sharanam Vraja. So there was some condition there in order to receive Krishna's mercy, and that was to surrender. But in the Lord's incarnation as Chaitanya, he did not require anything from people to awaken their forgotten love for him. And therefore, Chaitanya is considered to be the most munificent incarnation of the Lord. Now, this word munificent, we run across in Prabhupada's books some very big words. We may just skim over them. We don't know what they are. It's really a good idea to look some of these words up because it has a lot of meaning, this word munificent. This word literally means, it describes a person who is very generous and is always charitably disposed. This word charity or charitable means to always be ready to assist those in need. So that's a really simple but a very powerful description of the Supreme Lord, who's always ready to help us, always ready. He's there waiting for us to call for help. So Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't require us to do anything first to receive his mercy and help and guidance. He's giving it freely to anyone who calls out to him for help, like a child crying for his mother. We don't have to do anything first. We don't have to earn it. We just have to call his holy name. And he's going to reciprocate with us. We don't need any other qualifications. We just have to sincerely chant his holy names. I've told this in lectures many times because I'm a chaplain. A lot of people know that. Some people don't. That's my profession. It's what I do as preaching, but it's also how I pay my bills. But I don't mind telling it again here because when I meet people in the hospital, I often hear people who are in despair. They've lost all hope. They're ready to kill themselves right there in the hospital, and sometimes they actually do that. And part of it is because they're not just experiencing enormous amounts of physical pain, they're also experiencing a lot of emotional pain. They feel abandoned, they feel alone. They've estranged themselves from any family members who might even care about them. So I tell them, I can't do a whole full-blown education about Lord Chaitanya's mission, but I tell them one thing. If you just cry out, help me, to God of their understanding, whatever name you have for God, whether it's Allah, Jehovah, Buddha, Krishna, Christ, doesn't really matter what your name is. God knows who you're talking about. If we just cry out for God for help, something happens, something changes. And sure enough, when I go back to these patients the next day, there's a radical shift that happens in their current circumstances. One minute, the hospital's trying to kick them out. They might be homeless. They don't have a place to stay. And they're like, I don't know what to do. They need the bed. And then I come the next day, someone has stepped in, decided to be an advocate, or they found a bed. So chanting the holy name of God is our way of calling for help. It's a meditation, sure, but more than that is a deep prayer of crying out for help and connection. So, and we need that help in order to cope in this very fragile world that's full of miseries. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked this earth in the 15th century, his main activity was distributing the holy name in every town and village to anyone he met, regardless of their social status, and to give them a chance to awaken their love for God. And in order to win the respect of people, he took sannyas, which in ancient and also current Indian culture invites respect. You'll find it today, but also in ancient times, in Lord Chaitanya's times, people respect someone who's wearing sannyasi because that's considered to be a person in the priest class. Like in the West, you might have pastors, you might have rabbis, you might have imams. So a sannyasi has taken a vow to live a renounced life. It's not much different than being a monk in another tradition. And in Lord Chaitanya's time, as well as now, people tend to assume that people who have taken such a high discipline or a vow, they must be credible. So the only reason he took sannyas was so that people would listen to him. Otherwise, generally, people think you're a mad person if you start to chant Hare Krishna in the streets. Often people think we're mad when we do that. And so it helped him to be able to be listened to and offered respect for them to understand and actually take what he was trying to give. But what happened there for him was because he had to follow a lot of strict rules and regulations that sannyasis have to follow, and they do that to guard themselves against association with all kinds of people involved in what's considered sinful activities in the bhakti tradition, like intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, and gambling. He was prevented, or he was kind of removed from the people in general, just because he had to follow these strict vows. So although he was really merciful, he was a bit restrained from this vow, and in the public, you only saw him chanting and dancing with his devotees for festivals and whatnot. And when he had intimate association with his disciples, it was going on in their homes, out of the public eye. So you kind of had to be in the inner circle or have an intimate connection with Lord Chaitanya to have that kind of association. So he realized that was a disadvantage. There was an advantage to him taking sannyas, but there was a disadvantage. Although, the holy name is meant for everybody, regardless of their status in life, he kind of had to separate himself because of now this vow that he'd taken. So he instructed Lord Nityananda, who we're celebrating today, who left home when he was 12 years old to travel with a sannyasi, went to various holy places, lived a renounced life from the time he was 12, and then he eventually arrived in Vrindavan, the birthplace of Krishna, and he stayed there waiting for Lord Chaitanya to begin his Sankirtan movement. He knew it was coming, but he didn't know when, and he wanted to connect with him to be part of that. And so when Lord Chaitanya arrived in Navadvip and started to establish his mission of chanting, he went to Mayapur, or in Navadvip, which is a little town near Mayapur, which is where we have the Hare Krishna headquarters today. You're welcome to go there. If you haven't been there, it's definitely something to do. So after he took sannyas, he instructed Nityananda to marry. Even though he lived like a renunciant, he wasn't real interested. He wanted to travel and chant with Lord Chaitanya. He didn't want to stay home. He liked traveling and singing and preaching on the front line, so to speak. And the reason Chaitanya instructed Nityananda to marry is because were Lord Chaitanya to associate and engage with people who are engaged in sinful activities, he would be criticized as uncredible by higher classes of society. So he needed somebody who was able to freely engage people who were involved in these self-destructive kinds of activities. And so he instructed him to focus his attention on the most ignorant, the most fallen people of this age without any discrimination or making any distinction between those who are worthy and those who are not worthy, to give them an opportunity to chant the holy name. So it's considered that the Lord picks up the most fallen in this age, which is kind of a special mercy for all of us, because none of us have really earned being here, It's just sort of random that we somehow got in contact with the devotees or a book, We met somebody, we got some prasadam, maybe it was years ago. We didn't understand it, and gradually, things happen in our life. Maybe we're guided, and we bump into the Hare Krishna movement, and then we take it up. We didn't understand it 10 years ago, but we take it up now, and it's a gradual process. So it's kind of a mercy that we are able to even understand or value the chanting of the holy name. And therefore, that was his main service, Nityananda, to distribute the name anywhere and everywhere without any requirements to receive this mercy. Not at all. So there's no material qualification a person can acquire. Having material intelligence, having money, having education, having physical beauty, any kind of material position or status in life. There's just nothing in this world that's going to earn you the awakening of pure love of God. Many people try that, and they think, well, first I have to get all those things, and then I'm going to start to surrender my life to Krishna. It doesn't really happen that way. And so sometimes we rely on our material qualifications or our status to think that we are eligible or entitled to more mercy than others. But as we just said, in fact, your qualification is to really be fallen and to suffer. And interestingly enough, as a chaplain, we also know that people who do the work that I do, they've had to suffer a lot. You don't have a taste for helping relieve human suffering unless you've suffered a whole lot. Then you can sit with other people who are suffering without being disturbed because you've been there and you understand and you have compassion and you're not repulsed by other people's suffering, which often people who are privileged and maybe living a little bit of a isolated or insulated life surrounded by a comfortable life, they're disgusted when they see people who are suffering. So a good qualification for being a servant of Krishna is that you've suffered, and you don't want anyone else to suffer like you did. And so Lord Nityananda, he was that sort of a person. He would enter into people's lives that were suffering, and he gave them the mercy of the holy name. So that was his task. And he was even tasked with tried to reach out to people who had no interest to be saved, as we use this word, saved. It's kind of a word, I don't like that word, but we use it. It's sort of reminds me of the Christian notion of saving people, the come to Jesus saving notion. But in fact, it is that. You get saved from yourself. You get saved from your ignorance. You get saved from your destructive activities. And so Lord Nityananda's task was to join people where they were in their ignorant state, people who were intoxicated, people who were confused, perhaps having mental illness, and to work with those people and giving them the holy name, not working with the privileged of society. So, although it seems like a simple qualification to open the storehouse of love, to just be, the most fallen, there are many people who have no interest at all in Krishna consciousness. They have no eagerness. They're not even aware it's anything, You can walk by people, maybe you try to give them a book, talk to them, and they're like, what do you do with this book? I don't know. Can I smell it? What is it? Smell it? Or can I eat it? What do I do with this book? I don't know what to do. In fact, an interesting little story of how I came to the movement when I was about 15. I told this story to somebody here. I think Tara, we were talking about this in the Krishna pad. They were passing out these Bhagavad Gitas that were probably as big as my computer. And they had hundreds of beautiful colors in them. And some of my friends had been to the Krishna temple in Washington, D.C., and they kind of had to run away because everybody said, you should stay, you should stay. They had gone to a feast, but nobody wanted them to leave. Then they finally got away, and they got this book, this big Bhagavad Gita, and they came back, and they showed me this book and some of our friends, and they said, those Krishna people, they gave us this book, and they said, you just have to hold it. Even if you don't read this book, just holding it will make you enlightened. So we took that quite literally, we'd pass that book around. Okay, holding the book, okay, my turn. And then we'd pass it around, holding the book. And that was when I was 15. And then gradually after that, I would see devotees different places, go on Sankirtan, or I saw them on the television being interviewed. It wasn't until I was like 21 years old that I actually went to the temple. It was that long. It was like six, 7 years. And to even reading the Bhagavad Gita. So it's a gradual process. And Lord Chaitanya's mission is very subtle. And right now we're seeing in Los Angeles people who, when they were children, like 3-year-old children, walking by with their mother, going shopping, and the Hare Krishnas are out there chanting, and the mother's like, "Don't look at them, Rena." The kid is like, "Wow, that's really cool. I want to do that. I want to stop here and look." And the mother's, "No, don't do that," dragging them away. And now, as adults, they come back and they join, but they remember that when they were like 3 or 4 years old on the street, and their moms are like, "No, don't. These are weird people." That they finally break away. When now they're adults, they can freely go to the temple. So this was the big task, to try and work with people who had no qualifications. And I see, in my Karuna Care work, I kind of work as chaplains with people who have mental health issues, a lot of them. And what we know from the work we do is a lot of times when people have a mental health issue, it's a struggle to find the truth. Underneath that struggle is trying to figure it out. What is this about? Doesn't make sense. What I see in the material world, people working really hard for what? And going to school and busting their brains to learn for what? And then in the end dying. It doesn't make much sense. So that can cause a person to be pretty depressed if you don't really understand what is it all about. Why are we living? What's the purpose of all of this? And so Lord Nityananda, he was working with these folks. And I think that this is part of our mission as well, is to, instead of being critical or being, disgusted or abused at people, or averse to people who maybe be struggling with that question, what's it all about? But to get close and to listen. What are you thinking? What's going on? How can I help? How can I just journey with you? This is, in my view, what Lord Nityananda was doing, and it's his message to us and an example for us to follow. Not to be exclusive, that you have to be worthy, you have to be good enough, but that everybody belongs. So it's interesting because although Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya, they're the supreme object of all the residents of the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, he's perfect, he's complete, he's all-knowing, he's independent, he requires nothing from anybody. That Supreme Lord, he offers his respect. This was Lord Nityananda's mood. He would offer his respects to everyone, anyone he met. He would bow down at the feet of the lowest and most fallen persons, the most sinful people, begging them with tears in his eyes, "Please accept the treasure of love of God. This is a solution to your suffering. Please accept the name of Gauranga and be peaceful and happy forever." And this is the incredible mercy of Lord Nityananda. And therefore, this Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage is required. It's required that followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we first approach Nityananda, because in order to enter the realm of Rajadam, or Raja Leela, it's kind of exclusive. It's a very confidential circle of associates of Lord Krishna. And unless you're completely free from all selfish motivations, unless you're totally immersed and unmotivated with uninterrupted pure love, you can't really enter into these pastimes. What happens is, if you try with material attachment, you graft or put your material desires over this Raja Leela, and then it becomes confusing. You don't really understand, for example, what's happening there in our Krishna book with these esoteric stories that seem like fairy tales to children. There's a deeper meaning to that can only be understood by revelation, and those revelations can only be understood with a pure heart. And so it's really a good idea to first approach or enter into Chaitanya Leela in order to understand the Lord. So it's described that the Lord is magnanimous. That's another big word, and I looked up, and that's someone who is forgiving and behaves kindly and generously even to those who treat them badly. That's not an easy thing. It's nice to be nice, or easy to be nice to people who are nice, but it's not easy to be nice to people who treat us badly. So even when we are insulted, or when Lord Nityananda was insulted or mistreated, a magnanimous person like them, they're not resentful. We might pretend that we're being kind and forgiving and stuff, but in our heart we're burning with resentment and hostility if we are insulted. Our ego is insulted, especially to, people who don't like us. And we all have that experience, probably, don't we? We all know what it feels like to feel angry that somebody didn't respect us. So a magnanimous person who is forgiving and he behaves kindly and generously, even to those who treat him badly. And in this Gora Lila, the storehouse of all the pure confidential realizations that are generally reserved for the age of Raja Lila, they're distributed to all people without any discrimination. So Nityananda, he was thinking, who's going to understand Radha and Krishna properly? If I try to go out to these folks and try to explain the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, nobody's going to understand it. So his strategy was that if I tell them about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then automatically they're going to learn about Radha Krishna as well. And therefore, wherever he went, Lord Nityananda, he would sing a beautiful song that he composed. Bhaja Goranga, Kahe Goranga, Laha Goranga, Langera Name, Ye Jana Goranga Bhaje, Se Amara Prana Re. Worship Goranga, speak Goranga, chant Goranga's name. Whoever worships Sri Gauranga is my life and soul. Worship Gauranga, chant the holy name of Gauranga, take the mercy of Gauranga. Anyone who is willing to do this is my life and soul. So he buys the mercy of Lord Nityananda just by calling on the name of Gauranga. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's another name for Lord Chaitanya. And as I'm sitting here thinking it, I'm remembering Jayapataka Maharaj. Some of you may be his disciples. But when I was living in Mayapur, when in his younger days, he would have this incredibly loud, booming voice, and you could hear him all over the paddy fields. When we go on Parikam, he'd be, oh, Gauranga! Who knows Jayapataka Maharaj and remembers him doing that? And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking of him. I have this vision of him so loud. He had such a booming voice that he would be calling out, Gauranga, Gauranga. So this was the prayer of Nityananda. Wherever he went, in every town and village, he would tell this divine message. Just chant Gauranga. And in villages, if you've ever been to Mayapur, in some of these small villages, they're pretty much off the grid generally, although now I think they probably have some mud huts with computers in them or something, with a tower. It's kind of weird to see. And maybe they're illiterate. People don't know how to read, so it's no point giving them a book, but if you can get them to chant and take prasadam, then there's a hope of them making some spiritual advancement. I remember also when I was in Africa in our Kenya temple, we used to go out to the villages, African villages, and it was so strange to me because they would have this contest with the people in the village who couldn't read and write. They could hardly speak or pronounce Krishna, and we'd have a contest. I wouldn't do it, but the people who were doing this event, anybody who can pronounce the holy name gets a free book that they probably couldn't read anyway, but they were happy to get a free book. So of all of 1,500 people, not one of them could chant the holy name. They couldn't pronounce the words, which is very interesting. So in the end, they gave it to the one who had the best closeness to being able to say Hare Krishna. And I thought that was also quite amazing, that a person might not be able to pronounce Hare Krishna. And those of you who have perhaps been around a long time like I have, in the early days, it was kind of funny how some of us chanted. Some of us really didn't chant properly the Hare Krishna mantra. You'd have all kinds of versions of Krishna Krishna, Shnik Shnik Ram Ram, Shnik Shnik Ram Ram. And I remember when Prime Prabhupada said, if you chant like that, you will go to Shnik Shnik Loka. I saw all kinds of Giri Giri Ram Ram Ram, Giri Giri Ram Ram. We had all that. Probably that you hear that nowadays too, as people, just to be able to chant that name properly, that's quite a thing. And I don't know what that's about, if it's a question of purity or articulation or brain function. I don't know. But that's something I remember as I'm hearing that. So the qualification for receiving Lord Nityananda's mercy is to openly and honestly acknowledge that we're fallen. We're not entitled to any special treatment by God or anybody else. We say every morning after Mangalarti, Trinadapi Sunichina, Tororapi Isnuna, Amanina Manidina Kirtaniya Sarahadi. One should chant the holy name of the Lord, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, and ready to offer all respects unto others. In this state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. And so on this very auspicious day of Nityananda's appearance, we should be taking this opportunity to re-examine our motivation in life. What are our priorities? Nityananda used to get up in the morning and go out to the neighborhood. I remember when I was living in India, some of the temples would actually do that. Maybe it was Ahmedabad, or it was someplace in Gujarat. But they would have the devotees go out while people are just waking up, and they would go in the neighborhood and start singing. Like in the West, you might go sing Christmas carols in front of somebody's door. And a lot of people didn't appreciate that because you woke them up, in the morning. But he would be boldly going out, maybe by himself, and he would go to the neighborhoods and stand there at the break of dawn when the sun was coming up, and he would sing loudly, like the crow, or the rooster would crow, and he would say, "You're uselessly spending your days decorating your dead bodies, and at night you simply waste your time in the ignorance of sleep." Wow, that's something to wake up to. "In this way, your whole life is passing. Give up all these activities and for the pursuit of prestige and wealth, because it's only the decoration of a dead body which has always been dead and will always be dead." Wow, that's quite a preaching technique. I don't know if they'd appreciate that in Australia. So you probably would be arrested, I'd say, right? You have some kind of thing like that here. So it's only by taking shelter of Lord Nityananda that we can actually, and in that mood of that I'm an idiot. That's kind of the mood. You can talk about it in very flowery language. But I have gotten to, as a person who's been around for 50 years in this movement, I've gotten used to and comfortable with being able to acknowledge, especially that as I grow this Karuna Care Association, and having to work with all kinds of people who are all different, with different languages and cultures and opinions and stuff, I've learned to be able to listen and acknowledge I'm an idiot. And I make boo-boos, people find fault. Yeah, okay, you found fault. I'm an idiot. Don't be surprised. Idiots, they make faults, they make mistakes. I'm also a human being like everybody else. So, I'm not perfect, and that's not my goal in life, to become perfect. I think sometimes we have this notion that perfection is something material, something external. But we see in the pastime of not Shivananda Shenra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife, who had Lord Chaitanya to lunch, and they were so excited to have him come in their love for him that they offered him banana peels and didn't give him the banana. And Lord Chaitanya was so happy because he said, "You got it. You understand. Perfection is perfect love. It's not material perfection." So I think this is the mission and message of Lord Nityananda that I would like to just remember today, and to continue to remember every day as I wake up again out of the darkness of sleep. And everybody knows once you've been to sleep, you wake up and you have to remember it again and remember it again. Who am I? What am I doing here? What are we doing here? So that we can carry on. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any reflections maybe they'd like to share as you heard me talking? Maybe you had an insight you'd like to share? I'd like to hear. Anything that hit you? Do you resonate, or maybe have a different view, or something to add, a story? Okay.
So you were speaking about the magnanimous in this word. I believe in Latin, magnanimous actually means great soul. It actually means Mahatma, right? Magna means great, and animus is the spirit. Yeah.
Good.
So just
Great.
adds more to
Yeah.
how you're actually describing.
Yeah, it's good to know the root of words. What do they mean? Yeah, it's very good. Anything else? I want to give a plug before we go to you, Sadhana. There's going to be a play at 12:30 that you don't want to miss. It's a half an hour, and it's going to happen out there. They're going to do the marketplace of the Holy Name too, and I think you'll enjoy it. So you want to make sure you grab a seat. Sadhana.
Hare Krishna. I just saying this for my own purification, but to have the compassion for other people that, and you said that unless you've gone through a hard time yourself, you may not feel and what they're feeling. Could you just explain that again more? What it was you said?
Well, it's my experience and realization that if we live, and this was my experience even when I was living 30 years in the temple. You know, I joined the temple when I was 21, and I was busy with temple services, pretty much insulated, because if you live inside a community like this and you never touch lives of people who are suffering, you may begin to feel yourself privileged and entitled and self-righteous about yourself, and I'm better than everyone. And this is a real danger for so-called Brahmins, people who think that they're better than everybody because they have the privilege of living in a community like this. And so I was with the cook. I cooked for the devotees for 30 years, and my whole meditation, my biggest problem in life is who's cutting the vegetables today and who's washing my pots. And that was a big deal. That was my suffering. Oh, I have to get up in the morning and take a shower. And oh, that's such a suffering, you know. And it wasn't until, 30 years later, I decided at a certain point, living in Mayapur, that I wanted to connect with people who didn't look like me or think like me or dress like me. I thought there's no challenge to that. If you're surrounded by people who think and look and speak like you and believe like you, what's happening to the other people? So I went back to school, and as part of my journey, I ended up on the Mexican border working a year in a hospital, in an emergency room. And wow, it was the first time I really encountered suffering, amputations, gun shootings, people losing children in horrible ways, diseases, smells, maggots coming out of the nose and ear. I never thought about that. I just didn't know what was going on outside the little circle of isolation I was living in. And then I understood this was what Prabhupada and the whole mission was here to try and alleviate, this kind of suffering. So that was when my direction changed into learning, how can I be a compassionate care person? How can I actually have true compassion? We talk about it so much in our books, unconditional love, and I didn't quite know what that was or how to do it. And what I did find that people who haven't really explored suffering or sat with other people suffering, they're kind of disgusted when people have a problem. That was my experience before I actually was in the emergency room listening to people who were just about to have their leg amputated or they had already had it amputated. And what do you want to tell them? That was an assignment in my college. I had to figure out, what do I say to people that from my religion that's going to give them comfort? Telling them, oh, it's your karma, that is not helpful. What's helpful and what we all need to hear is that Krishna loves you. No matter what you have done or what you do, Krishna loves you unconditionally. That's what is balm for the soul. So that's kind of what I want to say. And I'm aware of the time. So Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Oh, thank you for listening.
Haribo. Yes, a very warm thank you. We have next is Aarti ceremony. Like Ramburu Devidasi mentioned, there will be a drama, the Jagai Madai drama, directed by Muddy Das. It's got humor, it's got music elements, it's got it all. It's got a big lessons in it. And the drama will be held under the Kadamba tree. They've set up some seating for everybody. So as soon as Aarti's finished, the Kirtan finishes, we request that everybody promptly makes their way over. And also the actors will be just using their voice. There will be a couple of mics, but not everybody will be mic'd up. So if we can give them our full attention, that would be amazing. I'd like to invite an eager devotee to lead the arti. Tulsi, would you like to? You're feeling enthusiastic? Cool. So, arti is a stand-up kirtan. We welcome everybody that's outside to come inside. It's a beautiful ceremony. It's gorgeous to watch and experience. So if you're outside, please come inside. You're welcome. Hari Bol.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyari Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nitai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govardhana. Anytime. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nita, Nita, Nita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Anytime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai, Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vivo!
To the drama! Procession outside! Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. We're going to go and take our seat for the drama out the front. Would you like to come and take a seat for the drama? There's going to be a drama just on the other side, under the Karamba tree. Yeah. And the feast, yeah. We'll go outside. I got a chair for you. Oh, you got a chair. She's welcome. Nityananda Rama ki! Nityananda Rama ki! Nityananda Rama ki! Welcome everybody to the center of Nityananda. I'd like to make a couple of announcements before I hand it over to... The microphone is working a little bit. To our dear Damodar Pandit Prabhu, we would like to thank all of the children from the Gurukul and outside the Gurukul who made these fantastic cards for Lord Nityananda. They are beautiful. We're going to give them to the Pujari, and they're going to read them to Lord Nityananda and place them on the altar. So a big round of applause for the children. They also did amazing services throughout the program. They've set up these beautiful chairs and mats for you all today. We thank you very much. And hello. It's not working. It's on, but it's for the inside. The drama is done with the vocals. We don't have any microphones. There's one. Sometimes there will be a vocal microphone, but most of the time our actors are not mic'd up. So the quieter we are, the more we will be able to relish the pastime because we'll be able to hear it. There's more space over here in the shade if you would like to have a better view from the front. After the drama will be lunch prasadam, and the curtains will be closing today from 1 a.m. until 3 p.m., which is a little bit unique, but they have some tradesmen who are doing some fixing. So if you're wanting to have darshan, before 1 a.m. is your time. 1 p.m. I apologize. It's a little bit hot. Vinod Prabhu has kindly mentioned that the school and the teachers will be served under the Kadamba tree. Our fantastic guests and all the other devotees and friends will be served under this white tent. Everybody having a good time? Woohoo! All right, Damodar Prabhu.
No, he told me to close after Artie. Yeah. He said close it because they wanted to go in there and do something.
Yeah, I heard 1 p.m. the trainings are coming, so if they're putting them to rest.
So they're not putting them to rest. What is Kate doing?
Some electrical.
No.
Hare Krishna. I'm standing at the temple entrance door and I have a set of car keys that was left in the ladies' bathroom. If you are missing keys, please find me. Missing keys, missing car keys. Somebody's going to be looking for them. Missing keys. Anyway, if somebody's looking for some keys or you hear anything, please let them know. Find the lady in the purple sari. Thank you.
emergency. My wife, she just can't play the D. She just can't play the D or something like that. Years ago, you know. Did you enjoy it? You look like you're getting a buzz out of it. That's good. Yeah.
We've done a lot of practice.
Yeah, yeah, no.
By the time you get to that, it's like, kind of had enough of it. But
Oh, yeah, okay. Just practice, practice. Yeah, we're very comfortable. Oh, you're going to sing for Sugar Club now.
it's a little bit just
Sing for the Lord.
super long for a minute.
Have a wind down. Dance, love.
Abhishek, is that where they're setting out? Hare Hare.